Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. This fella sent me another one of these. I don't know how he has my address. I don't know how he does it, but he found my address. It sent another one. He's from Langley, Virginia, like I said. Now, Langley, Virginia is where the CIA is located. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm baffled. Like, is this a joke? Is he pulling my leg? Is he pulling my chain? Messing with me, pulling my leg? I don't know. But he sent another letter. I still don't know how to find my address. I mean, he's living where the CIA is located. Pretty sure the CIA knows where we all live. But how did he get all the way out here exactly? Answer me that. Answer me that. Huh? I don't know. Maybe this guy's stalking me. Maybe it's one big joke. I mean, that's pretty big of a joke. It's posted in multiple letters. You know, in the big ones too. He's probably cost a pretty penny. Let's see what this guy has to say this time. Dear, my name, you are quite brave to continue talking about this subject. I want to know for sure. I send you a second letter to bring you more information about Polybius. Okay? We developed a game from March to September of 1980. We were all forced to sign NDAs at the end of it all. I'm currently breaking that, of course, but I don't care anymore. Yeah, kind of obvious you're breaking it. Of course, the government would sign an NDA for something like that, experimenting on children. The name came from me as I had read up about the Polybius Square at the time, and I thought it was a good name. Yeah, when I was researching Polybius, I also came across the Polybius Square, and of course, the historian, he's Greek historian, Polybius. Let's continue. We worked day and night to get the game finished. After the project was done, they thanked us and took the stuff and left. Nothing more. So they just took the cabinet, left. Okay. I really do believe that you are tied to this all in some way. What does that mean? What do you mean I'm tied to this? I wasn't born yet. My mom wasn't even born yet when this happened. She was born to like years after 1981. I wasn't born until almost a decade, to like 20 years afterwards. I was born. So I believe you must have some kind of relationship to this. What do you mean relationship? I didn't work for the government. I don't work for the government. I don't want to work for the government. I'm never going to work for the government. What is this guy on about? It lines up with one of the guys I still have contact with when he told me the news 15 years ago, right for now. Lines up with one of the guys, so he's in contact with one of the guys who worked on Polybius still, and they told him something 13 to 15 years ago. And that lines up with me, I guess. Like, I line up with something he told them 13 to 15 years ago, like, at a kid. He told him something that lines up with me, and that thing that happened 13 to 15 years ago, that's my age range. So it's like, he's saying that one of my dad, saying my dad was involved in this. I mean, who knows, maybe dad could have been involved in this. I don't really know him all that well. I don't really know him. So who knows what he could have done. I mean, according to the mom, he probably would have been in the rough age range to have worked on the game. You know, he would have been in the age range to work on the game, according to the mom. But it lines up with one of the guys. He told him something 13, 15 years ago, and that whatever happened lined up for me. And I have some sort of relationship to this all, and I'm tied to it. So clearly, Paul was some kind of like biological relationship to one of the guys. He's kind of connected to it. Got like, remember, I have blood in this. Blood. And I'm related to this. It's like about blood ties. I'm blood related to this. So, what I'm getting at, I'm related to one of these guys. So, I mean, that my dad worked on this. Unless he's talking about my grandpa. Not my grandpa didn't work for this. He was never a programmer. He never worked for computers. He would have told me. Gramps never worked with computers. He's not really a tech guy. He's not into tech. He's not into computers. He's not into any of that stuff. He only got a phone a few years back. He barely ever uses it, He would not have been programming with computers by then. And besides, by then he was working in the Army Corps of Engineers. The Army Corps of Engineers. And, that only makes sense, The Army Corps of Engineers, he's probably talking about my dad. I mean, let's see, do my grandpa. I mean, that would make a little bit more sense. Grandpa, maybe his grandpa, but Grandpa probably would mention to be code and stuff. Grandpa, he was never a computer tech. He was never into hoo-ha's and gadgets. This just befuddles me. It baffles me. Either dad or grandpa was involved with this. Something telling me more dad. Something telling me more dad, maybe grandpa. Well, this fella sent me out a letter. I'll read it to y'all. But this guy, my address, some kind of spooked. So shut up. I don't think he'll do anything. If he's telling the truth, he really is from Langley, Virginia. Then I got nothing to fear. You can't do something from that far away. But I don't know, grandpa's tied to this. Dad's tied to this. There's a high chance it could be possibly dad. I don't really know much about him. I know jack squat about him. So maybe. Anyways, well, I guess bye. Have a nice time. Bye. Have a nice time.